Hello there and welcome to Brian Lomack's Movie Talk and my review of They Live, John Carpenter's They Live, because let's face it, he has to have the obligatory name above the title. First time I've seen this film, I've got to say, I've seen bits of it, famous bits of it, to the point where I kind of felt like I'd seen most of it, to be honest, throughout the years, and I read a lot about it, so I kind of knew what to expect. But this is the first time I've actually sat down and watched it from start to finish. So I thought I'd review it. I wouldn't say this is one of John Carpenter's best works, but I do think it is a pretty solid film, a pretty entertaining film. It's a very good satire, I think. It takes a look at the modern world, at consumerism, and just how mankind is essentially substituting things of value, spiritual value, for things that have no value at all, and that kind of dull our senses, dull our souls, so to speak. It's a film with a message, but it does it in an entertaining and rather haphazard way, I would say, given that our main cast member is Roddy Piper. A guy clearly who wasn't necessarily born to act, but he was born to fight. I obviously don't wish to speak ill of the dead, but he's good here, but not in any kind of true actorly sense of the word. He's entertaining. I think he kind of knows what his capabilities are. He plays up on those, and it works for this film. Keith David lends a bit more, shall we say, weight to the actor side of things. I think he probably raises whatever game Roddy Piper has got in him, and it's nice to see the chemistry between the two on screen. And there is, of course, the famous fight scene that goes on for a good 4 or 5 minutes. By today's standards, it's not actually that great. It's definitely cheesy, and I think it always was cheesy. I don't think anyone has ever claimed otherwise. But you look at something like The Raid these days, you might get like a 4 or 5 minute fight scene in a film like that, and they're throwing like 5 to 10 times as many moves. So yeah, when it comes to orchestrating a scene like that, this isn't really all that impressive. But again, like most of the things in this film, because of that satirical edge, it is funny and therefore very entertaining. Now, the story, if you don't know, centres around this guy who stumbles upon this group who have invented these glasses that allow them to see the world as it actually is, or more importantly, see the aliens that have kind of taken over and appear to look like human beings. And they also have tons of subliminal advertising everywhere. So where we might see an advertisement for lingerie, what's underneath is actually a sign telling us to watch more TV or buy more stuff or sleep more and things like that. So yeah, when he finds these glasses that allow him to see this stuff, the world is suddenly opened up. The truth suddenly comes out, and he must try and convince the rest of the world of what he has seen, what he's witnessed. So kind of simple, basic plot when you put it in those terms, but like I say, it has a very kind of dark edge about it, but a comically dark edge to it. This film's also got actress Meg Foster in it. Probably not a hugely known actress. She's done mostly TV work, but I remember her from films like Blind Fury as a child and Masters of the Universe. And she's always someone who has a very striking appearance, because she's got like the bluest eyes you've ever seen. And they always work to kind of give some sense of mystery about her as a person. Very captivating, I must say. And again, she is a good actress, I think. And the reason she has had a very long career, albeit, as I say, mostly in TV. Although look out for Jeepers Creepers 3, because she will be appearing in that film, apparently. Now, it clearly looks like this film was done on the cheap, as with a lot of John Carpenter movies, but he always does do the best with the budget he's given. A lot of the effects still hold up. They kind of work, particularly the alien effects. You know, when he puts the glasses on and we see what they look like, you can tell it's all makeup, but it's kind of effective. And I will always value the practical side of things over digital anyway. But yeah, that does still work, even though at times when they get a little bit too close, you can see the joins, so to speak. You can see the glue. You know, you can see that this is kind of mask work and whatnot. But yeah, that stuff holds up. Other stuff, not so much. Like when we have these little flying UFO things that kind of trying to track him down, they look really ropey. And some of the sets look like, yeah, not the most expensive looking sets. I recently had a friend who pointed out to me that actually this film was released at the same time as Lethal Weapon. You look at how that film is held up with regards to what's on screen, with regards to budget, with regards to the fight sequences in it. Yeah, you can tell they had much more to work with there. But like I say, Carpenter does an awful lot with very little, shall we say. The main thing that I like about this film is that we are just following this everyman, and Carpenter is known for doing that, putting these central characters who are just your everyday kind of people into very extraordinary circumstances. And even though, as I've already said, we don't get the world's best performer in the central role, it is quite believable in the sense that I could buy this guy being a builder, you know, I could buy him being a construction worker, and that's the guy we're following. And it really is fun just seeing him kind of wake up to this world, this new world around him. As soon as he puts those glasses on, and the reaction we get from him is really quite classic, entertaining. You know, like the way he just starts blowing people away, almost like that. You know, it's like his eyes are opened up, he gets his hands on a gun, and the first thing he wants to do is shoot these people, these aliens. So that, again, both funny, a little bit satirical, maybe has something to say about the nature of mankind. But yeah, that for me is the most entertaining aspect of the film, just following this everyman as he wakes up to this world around him. That's also what makes the aforementioned fight scene so entertaining as well, because it's really just all about him trying to get his friend, well, I say friend, this guy that he's come to know a little bit, he's worked with him a couple of times, to wear these glasses, you know, and this guy just flat out refuses. As far as he's concerned, this guy's just killed a dozen people. He wants nothing to do with him. But so why he would actually go to him in the first place to have a little chat is anybody's guess. But he does, and it leads to this fight sequence in which he's trying to get this guy to wear these glasses. You know, this guy played by Keith David. Keith David's having none of it. No, I ain't putting your stupid glasses on. And then a 5-minute fight ensues. You know, it's laughable, but in the best possible sense. This wouldn't be a Carpenter film, obviously, without that famous Carpenter score. He likes to score a lot of his own movies. I neglected to even mention his score in my review of Halloween. So yeah, here it does the job. It's not one of his best scores in the sense that I don't come away from this film humming it. It's not one that sticks in your mind. But as you're watching the film, it does complement it very well. You know, it's not too obtrusive. It suits the tone of the movie. It does the job that a good film score should do. But yeah, certainly when it comes to memorable film score work that Carpenter has done, this isn't up there with the likes of Halloween. So as I say, this is a really solid Carpenter film. Not his best work, but certainly by no means his worst. Good 80s action, sci-fi / horror thriller. A lot of genres being mangled into this thing. And I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. But what about you? Have you seen They Live? And where do you think it ranks amongst Carpenter's work? Comment below, let me know, and until next time, cracking.